Okay, well, any requests for today? I thought we would maybe actually do a Shavasana today.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
How's that sound? If our dogs will let us lay on the floor.
Yeah, well, it's hit or miss with Ellie. She might let me do Shavasana. She'll just be licking my face while I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, just a heads up, next week I'm going to have to shorten class a little bit, just by 5 minutes, because I was kind of volunteered to help with a Live Well presentation. So we'll just have to shorten next week just a bit.
Okie dokie.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. So find a comfortable seat on your chair. Hands on your thighs. We'll do some centering breaths to start off with before we get into our movement. So go ahead and find your spine nice and tall. Notice the positioning of your pelvis, because we have a tendency to let our pelvis tilt backwards when we're sitting in a chair. So realign your pelvis so it feels neutral. And then let's close our eyes and just start to notice your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Just noticing how you're feeling physically, mentally right now. So let's work into a 3-part breath today. So if you'd like, you can place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your ribs. Or you can keep hands in your lap, wherever you're comfortable. And as you inhale, expand your belly into your hand, and then your ribs into your hand. We'll start with 2-part. And then as you exhale, release the ribs and release the belly. Continue with that breath, expanding belly, expanding ribs, and then releasing ribs and releasing belly. And when you're ready, you can add the 3rd part, which is chest. So you start with the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. And as you exhale, you release the chest first, then the ribs, then the belly. Continuing with that 3-part breath. And if you'd like, you can release your hands, but continue the 3-part breath. And each movement is purposeful, but flows into the next part of the movement. And let's bring our hands together at our hearts. And let your breath become a little more natural now. And one more deep inhale and exhale. And then release your hands and open your eyes. All right, let's start to get into our movement a little bit. We'll work from the top down. So starting with the head, let's just do some head tilt side to side, ear to shoulder. Just noticing how the neck feels. And then bring the head back to the center, and let's turn the head to the right so the chin's over your shoulder, and then move the chin up and down. And then turn your head over the left shoulder and move the chin up and down. All right, right, let's take hands behind your head so you can interlace your fingers so that your hands cradle your head. Press your head back into your hands. Keep pressing and then relax. We'll do it one more time. Push back and then relax. Okay, now we're going to move to the front. So take your hands on your forehead and push your head forward into your hands. And then relax. And then again, press forward. And relax. Release the hands and then do a few chin to chest. Notice if your head feels any different. Well, more your neck. If your neck feels any different. All right, let's move through the arms a little bit. So just sending thumbs back and reaching forward. Do a couple more of those. And then release the hands down, and let's move forward on our chairs a little bit. And start to move through the feet. So some ankle circles one way and then go the other way. Point and flex. Spread the toes and curl. And then a few quick leg swings. Okay, let's do the other leg. Circles. Other way. Point and flex. Spread the toes and curl. And then leg swings. All right, go ahead and shift your weight forward and come all the way up. And let's start to just move through some different planes of motion just to get the spine and the hips warmed up. So let's take hands right to your chest. We're gonna take a rotational step to the left. So you turn and rotate and reach forward, and then you bring your hands back in and step back to the center. So it's a step and turn. And come back in. And you get to choose how big your step's gonna be. It's actually a little safer for your knee if you step bigger, because then there's less force pushing your knee forward. Let's do one more this direction. Okay, let's go the other way. Turn and step. Just be gentle with knees. Let's do two more. And back to the center. Okay. Next one we're going to do is kind of a curtsy step behind. So let's put left hand on hip. The right hand's going to sweep up and over as your right foot steps behind you. Okay, so it looks really pretty. Maybe. It doesn't have to be graceful. Let's do a couple more. Okay, one more, and we're going to hold this one a little longer. So now hold here and then pull your heart up really high. Relax your shoulders down. And then release. Okay, let's do the other direction. Okay, so right hand on hip, step back and reach over. Do a few more like that. Two more. And we're going to hold longer on this one. Lift your chest up really tall and then relax your shoulders down. We're really opening up the space in the ribs here. And then release. Okay. All right. Gonna move through kind of some step balance sequences. So I'm gonna move my chair out of the way. You just need enough space all the way around you so that your foot can go in multiple directions. So use your core here. So let's start by engaging core. So go ahead and see how your abs feel, and then just try and engage them. And I mean, they're in there, you have them. Engage them, make them work a little hard. So engage the core to help you with your stability on this one. So you can either put your hands on your hips, or you can do prayer hands. Just connect your hands to your body somehow. So we've got core engaged. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Okay, so we'll just make a little kickstand here with the right leg. And then keeping the spine really tall, you're gonna reach your right foot out in front of you. Here, let me move that. Reach your right foot out in front of you as far as you can without really bending over. Come back to the center, and this is where the balance comes in. So our goal here is to not touch the foot to the ground, but you can come back to kickstand if you need it for stability, okay? So let's do this forward again. Forward, and we've done something like this in the past. Now we're gonna go to the side. No, I lied, we're gonna go diagonal. Let's go diagonal. You're barely touching the ground. Now to the side. To the side. We're like flamingos, except our knees go forward instead of backwards. Now we go diagonal back. How far can you reach? Oh, that left leg's really working hard. Now we're gonna go straight back. Straight back. Bring it up. And then release. Okay, shake it out. That is a lot of work for that standing leg. We're gonna switch sides, then we'll repeat each side. So really good for stability and balance. It's a lot of work for the standing leg. Okay, so let's anchor. So start with your foot, and I want you to notice if you allow your arch to collapse, you can even see it on my knee. If my arch collapses, my knee pops in. So always think about pushing your weight kind of to the outside of your foot. Pull your arch up, and when you do that, that automatically engages your glute too, okay? So then engage your core, connect your hands, kickstand the left foot, and let's reach forward, straight forward. And then we're gonna go diagonal forward. Try and keep your gaze forward if you can and not look down at your foot. Straight to the side, how far out can you reach? Diagonal back. Oh, I've been touching in the center. I forgot we're supposed to be balancing. Try and balance. And go straight back. I'll have to redeem myself on round 2. Okay, shake it out. Let's do some with upper body real quick before we do it again. So if you have a block or a pillow or a book, just something with a little bit of density, go ahead and grab that. We're just gonna do some quick isometric upper body contractions that work your pecs and your triceps really well. So just holding something out in front of you that you can't compress more than like the width of this block. We're gonna push the hands on the outside, take your feet a little wider. That'll create stability, and then activate your core like we've been doing. And then push really hard. Push into the block, the book, whatever. 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, now let's start by engage your feet. Push your arches up, lift them up, engage your glutes, engage your core, ready, and push. Now can you keep breathing too? We're gonna hold longer this time, so you need to be able to still breathe while you're engaging your core. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're gonna do 2 more like that. Okay, start by, with your foundation, engage your feet, push your weight into your pinky toes, lift your arches, squeeze your glutes, and then maybe even now squeeze your inner thighs too. Okay, engage your core, ready, and push. Push harder. We're gonna do like 10 more seconds. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, we're gonna do those reaches again, those balance reaches. Let's start on the side we ended on. So that would be standing on your right leg, okay? So kickstand, create your foundation, engage your glutes. Okay, now lift the leg, or you can keep your kickstand, up to you. We're gonna go back first this time. You probably tried to go forward already. Let's go straight back first. And then bring it up. Gonna be really slow and purposeful. Diagonal backwards. Imagine different touch points and try and reach as far as you can. Straight to the side. See how, if you can get lower. And don't allow yourself to shift any weight into that moving leg. Okay, diagonal forward. Oh, that right leg is really working hard. And straight forward. Oh, and up. Okay, shake it out. Really loose. Okay, let's switch legs. Anchor your left foot. Remember, push your weight out into your pinky toe side, but you got it. You've always have to engage your big toe, even when you push your weight out. Okay, engage your hands, engage your core. Kickstand right leg. We're going straight back first. How far can you reach back? And then barely tap the toe. Bring it back up. Diagonal back. How far can you get out there? Straight to the side. And back up. Diagonal forward. Oh, those forward ones are hard. And straight forward. And back up. Okay, good job. Shake it out. Okay, we're going to use our chair from the back side just for balance. You always have the option of not using the chair, depending on how much work you want to put in and what your balance is like. Okay, so let's do a few supported downward facing dogs with the chair. So hands on the back of your chair, walk back, drop your head between your arms. Let's get feet about hip width apart, and then rock forward and back, heels and toes from this position. Now we're going to pedal the feet, so 1 foot at a time. And then soften the knees and take the hips side to side. And look forward and step forward. Okay. Walk back again. Okay, so this time we are going to try and move into kind of a half moon pose. So knees are soft, bring your feet together here, nice and close, and then lift the right leg up. So the right leg is behind you. You can use chair as much as you would like. We're going to start to rotate the hips open and see if you can lift the right heel a little higher. Now the next part of this, if you want to go any further, is you bring your left hand to your hip. You only hold on to the chair with your right hand. Keep that left heel up nice and high. If you'd like to go any further, then you can take your arm to the sky. Whew. Hold there. Bring hand to hip. Rotate hips, reach forward. Step the left foot forward and come all the way forward. Okay. Good job. I'm going to switch my chair so I can still face you on the other side. So now we get to do the other side. Okay, so go ahead and walk back into that supported downward dog. Bring your feet close together. Anchor all your toes, and again, lift the arches, bend the knees a little bit, and lift the right leg up behind you. Now notice your hip bones. We want our hip bones parallel to the floor right now. Now we're going to rotate hips open as maybe the right leg lifts a little higher. Now if you'd like, right hand can come to hip, but you do not have to let go of your chair if you don't want to. The balance is not as good on this side. And if you would like, top arm can go to the sky. I have to focus on Heidi's face on my screen to stay balanced. Okay, let's rotate hand to hip. Rotate the hip, reach forward, drop the foot, and come all the way up. Whew. Good job. Okay, we're gonna do a few chair poses. So grab a block, a pillow is good for this too. We're just gonna put it between our knees just for some inner thigh engagement. So let's take the block, put it between the knees, and as you move into your chair pose, you might find that your feet feel too close. So if that's the case, just move your feet out a little further once you get into the pose. So check that your feet are parallel to each other, about hip width apart. We're going to start with hands to our hearts. Take an inhale, reach up, and as you exhale, move into a chair pose. Hands come to your heart, push the hips back, squeeze the block. But don't let your arches drop, okay? We're practicing that a lot today. Don't let the arches drop. Inhale, reach up. Now exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come part way up. And exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to the sky. Keep your hands reaching at the sky. Press your shoulders down and then move into your chair pose. Good. If it's hard for your arms to stay up, bring them back to your heart. That's totally fine. Can you get your hips back further? My knees were pretty far forward, so see how far back you can get your hips. Good. One more breath. Squeeze the block. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart, chair pose. Pause for a couple of breaths. And then stand all the way up. Let's release hands and take your block out. Okay. We are going to move to the floor. You can grab your blanket if you want for this and just lay it down so that you're sitting on your mat, but your whole upper body, torso is on your blanket. So let's take a seat there and then find your way all the way down to your backs. If you need extra cushion or padding, you can do that, but let's start with arms out to the sides, just straight out, and just rock your hips a little bit side to side. And then gradually get your feet a little wider so they're at least as wide as your mat. And then let your knees go a little further. So now that's morphing into windshield wipers. Okay, so just gradually get a little bigger each time. And come back to the center. Let's bring the feet in close. Reach down, grab under your left thigh, and then slide your right foot straight out. Slide it. Avoid picking it up here if you can. And the sliding helps decrease the activation of the psoas and the hip flexors, because we tend to get really shortened hip flexors from all our sitting, so we want them to not be active right now. Okay, go ahead and lower the left foot down. Slide the right heel back up and then grab under the right thigh. And then slide the left leg out. And just relax here. Try not to have much tension at all. You know, sometimes I have you flex your feet and there's a purpose for that, but right now, lots of relaxation. Okay, go ahead and slide the foot back up. And then take the right leg up to the sky. And grab, you can bend your knee as much as you would like. Grab your calf, your ankle, wherever. And then start to open up both knees a little bit. So we're lowering the right leg, which is mostly straight, and the left knee, which is mostly bent. And then gently bring it back up and lower the right foot. Left leg goes up. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Both legs start to open up. Ooh, this one feels tighter. For sure. And then bring the leg back up. Now, for our final, you can adjust your final position as well, but we're going to do kind of a supported butterfly. So having 2 blocks or 2 pillows is great here. So the way it looks with blocks, of course you've got different heights, but you bring your feet together, the soles of the feet are together, and then you adjust the block position and the height according to your own flexibility level. So, and you don't even necessarily need a stretcher if you don't want one, just wherever it feels comfortable. Okay, and then find yourself in a comfortable position. If you like, you can take arms out to the sides with your palms up, and then allow your eyes to close. And let your awareness shift to your deep breath, and maybe even back to the 3-part breath that we did at the beginning. Just use your breath until you feel yourself relax and release. And until you can just allow yourself to drift away a little bit, so that focusing on the breath is no longer needed to keep yourself present. Just begin to notice the weight of your body against the floor. Notice your feet, your legs, your hips, your back, your head, your arms. Allow some gentle movement in fingers and toes. And then you can bring your knees back up to center. And gently make your way over onto one side. And press yourself back up to seated. Let's find our seated position. Bring hands to your heart. Let your eyes soften. Take a gentle bow towards your heart. And thank you for joining me today. Namaste.